Dearest listeners, book babes and book bros, welcome to Book Babble. I'm your host, Tanya, and today my co-host is Hannah. Hannah, say hello.
Hello.
And today, the special guest of the hour is Amanda. Amanda, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amanda. I just currently wrote Their Stolen Moments. I'm very thankful to Tanya for you having me on here and Hannah for this and all the support I've gotten.
Well, Amanda, thank you for joining us. We're excited to have you on. Are you ready to babble?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, Hannah will put 5 minutes on the clock. We're improvising today because of some technical difficulties, but she'll put 5 minutes on and then she'll give us our first question.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Right. Amanda, when did you start writing your book?
When did I start writing? It was about 2.5 years ago. I was actually out riding my horse when the idea came to me, and it just I started writing it down, and just more ideas kept going, and I kept going with it. And then, I started looking on the internet about writing and joining writing groups. And it's kind of like the more you know, the more you learn you need to know. And so then I started getting beta readers and editing the book. And all of a sudden, I found Iris influencers who are a real big help to me. And then now I got the book published and working on that and working on another novel. I have a cat down there that's getting there. So that's been about 2.5 years. So,
And Amanda, what's been your favorite part about publishing so far?
there's been a lot of happy parts. Reading the reviews is nice when you see people actually read the book that you spend a lot of time on. I think it was also nice when I first received the book, just holding it in your hand after, looking at so many other people, seeing them hold their book. It was nice to finally hold my book, and it was nice to see the cover, and it was just exciting, maybe seeing some of the page reads the first day. There's just been a lot of happy things. I guess I can't say my one favorite thing, but so it's just been exciting. So.
Sounds like a sweet experience. What is one thing that surprised you the most?
Surprised me the most about writing?
Just throughout the whole writing publication process.
Just like trying to market the book, biggest surprise. Just, maybe just having to learn how critical people could be. And, it's like, it's a lot tougher than you think it can be to please people. And it was trying to learn to accept criticism that, hey, if we're not all perfect writers, we need other people to watch us. I remember just being like taken aback and thinking, well, she didn't say one nice thing about my writing. And it's like, oh, but then when you learn to take criticism, like I ride horses and train them, and you have to learn that you're not perfect there. So I kind of use that applied to my writing too. That's probably the biggest surprise. There was a lot of surprises along the way, just how hard it could be.
Yeah.
Just getting everything timed together to get it published and that. So, okay. Yeah.
And so you mentioned a couple of times that you work with horses and you used that knowledge for your book. Are there any other pieces of your book that are inspired by real life?
Oh, well, I think a little bit the character Father Dane. We didn't have a priest that was in our parish, and he really turned his life around. I mean, he's a lot different than Dane is in the book, but it was just the fact that somebody kind of was able to turn their life around, and I thought that was kind of a neat thing to portray in somebody, one of the characters. So that was one thing that I tried to just say, that you can be a bad person, but kind of turn your life around. And I think I'll use that for an example. So
Yeah.
okay.
That's a good example. I like that. I think everyone can relate to that too.
Yeah. So I was just trying to pull a little bit of the church element in, but maybe just to say, like, priests aren't like these people you got to stay away from and all that they are human too, and they can make mistakes. Is it really a mistake? That's for the reader to decide, but that was just something. So, okay. I don't know if I have time for one more question or not.
Yeah. Yes, I have a good one. Can you give us some of the tropes in your book?
What? I'm sorry.
Some of the tropes or themes in your book.
Some of the themes, the forbidden love, slow burn, there's suspense, there is steam, if you like that. It's a modern historical, early 1900s, and it's got equestrian elements in it. And so I think forbidden love, suspense, steam, slow burn. I think I got everything.
Those are good ones. My favorite is suspense. My favorite, like romantic suspense.
All right. Well, we've got 2 seconds left, so I'm just going to go ahead and call it. Woo! We made it through the
My
5 minutes. Yes, do it. All right. Well, Amanda, we made it through the 5 minutes, so congratulations. You are officially out of the hot seat, and you do not have to, worry about rapid fired questions anymore. Now it's just time to have some fun and chit chat. So I noticed that you mentioned something about a second book. What's on the horizon for you?
I'm writing another, I guess, a modern historical. It's a suspense also about, I think the best way. It's kind of like a sports. He's a boxer, she's a jockey, and she'll have to disguise as a boy to. She has to escape at the beginning. Trying to think how to say this in real short, but she has to escape for her life, and then she ends up working on a farm. This girl's like about 19. She's had her life upheaval, and then she's has to disguise because her half brothers may be looking for her. And there, when she's at this farm, that's where she meets Jackson, and he's a rising star boxer, and he thinks sees her only as a boy, and she's kind of helping him learn to ride. But then one thing leads to another, and he doesn't realize that it's her, that they have a night together. And then he's kind of left wondering, who was this girl that I met but he doesn't know where she is because she's in disguise. And it's like he knows who she is because he's kind of been writing. They've kind of developed a friendship, but yet he can't put it together. And so that's kind of where the story goes. And I guess, I don't know. It's still in the
That's
works.
very unique and original. I'm interested in reading it.
Yeah, I am too. That sounds really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know when it'll
What
be out
was
whenever I get it all finished and everything.
what was the inspiration, or what was some of your inspiration for that story?
Well, it was actually kind of when I was writing my other story, I just was realizing I was making the story real long, so I kind of drew elements from the characters of my original story and just we've turned them around. And I know one thing in my current story is Father Dane is a boxer turned priest, so I kind of stole the boxer and just made it like younger and twisted things around. So I could say it probably came from my first story. And I like to have horses in it. And this second story may have more on the horse races and a little more focus on the horses in the first story. So that's kind of where it came from.
I love that.
And you've brought up boxing a couple of times too. There's, Father Dane and now Jackson in your second book. Do you have a boxing background? Does your husband have one? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I really got to say it probably comes from working at the gym. And, I see some of the guys there and you see boxers and you got to be really fit. Maybe I saw the movie Rocky a little bit. I was inspired.
Fair, valid.
So I don't know if you tie that, just seeing the guys. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be spending all this time with these guys, they're going to be good looking. I don't know. Sometimes how I look at it. They better be nice too. That's probably maybe just a fitness aspect. Just probably, I'll credit that to some of the guys I talked to at the gym, and you might notice in the story. Well, more Father Dane, he likes to eat, and he can eat about anything, and that was from talking to some of the guys that they can eat like 4,000 calories a day, and that's what they have to do to stay with their muscles. And I'm like, I can look at food and
same. You just breathe around it and gain 10 pounds.
I know, but I don't mean to. I was just so that's kind of one of those little tiny parts I had to add in to my other story, and I don't know that I did as much with Jackson in the second story, but that's where I kind of got the boxing. Just I don't know, I kind of like
an
sports
interest
and competitiveness, so I tied it in a little bit. So.
Yeah, and being a jockey and riding horses is a sport too.
Yes, that's
so it is sports romance too.
Yeah.
So, do you have experience as a jockey, or do you just train the horses?
Well, no, I've never ridden I've never been a jockey. I've always liked race horses. I do ride barrel horses, and you have a little bit, obviously you don't have to watch the way as much with your barrel racing, but I've watched a lot of horse racing over the years, and I mean, I'm familiar with horses, and I've read stuff about the training and that. So that may not be everything right down to a T. I mean, and sometimes I thought, well, do the readers really need to know that you cross your reins when you ride a racehorse? So I didn't necessarily go that far, but I have ran, and I haven't actually been in a race, but do I run my horses, and can I relate with that feeling when the horse takes off? Or my horse, when I get her into the barrel ring, she can be very excited, and I know some beta readers questioned me when I was explaining, when I was saying what Jackson was doing in the first story. It was like, they don't really do that, do they? And I'm like, you haven't met my horse yet, have you? So I tried to, and since barrel horses have, a lot of them have been race horses, some of them have been, or they're bred similar. That's why so that, I hope I'm making sense. I didn't mean
You are.
No, you are. You're fine.
They're athletic.
so.
They're very athletic.
Yes, they are. It's fun to ride a fast horse, but hang on.
Yeah. It's fun to ride a fast horse if you know how to do it, and if the horse knows how to let you ride him.
And also, I know I've taken a few spills, so I think it was more in their stolen moments. I know Madeline. There'll be one scene where she fractures her back, and I know that firsthand because, well, I didn't have the exact same thing happen. I wasn't attacked or anything, but I did fall off, and I remember that pain in my back for a while. So when I'm kind of describing that was kind of a real life experience. So
I've always been told if you haven't fallen off a horse, you haven't been riding long enough.
well, my horse had just taken off.
Yeah, just happens.
I just remember that. So anyway,
So are your stories interconnected?
no, these two aren't. No, I think I just started writing one. I don't know. I know a lot of people write series, and I've actually thought of just making a second story to go along with their stolen moments. But I mean, they're standalone stories, so you don't have to, like, you're not left on a hook on the first one. It'll be kind of its own different story. Maybe just my own reading. I read, like, when I was a kid, Walter Farley's Black Stallion books, and he had, like, I don't know, almost 20 of them, but they were all their own their own story. So I guess that's kind of how I end up writing. So far anyway.
Well, Amanda, we are getting towards the end of our episode, and this is typically when we open the floor to you. So you can, say anything you want to your readers. Tell us anything you have upcoming if you're going to events or anything. So the floor is yours.
Okay. First, I'd like to say thank you to, I had a lot of nice influencers, ARC readers, and beta readers that read for me. Very grateful to you, to those of you that have chosen to read the story or buy the book. I'm very thankful to you to give Thane and Madeline a chance, and I hope you enjoy the ride. I know I'm kind of keeping my options open for places I can go. I'm learning more about that as I'm becoming author. I'm looking to hopefully soon have another story out in the next couple months. I just got to finish revising that. Then there's always more stories I'm kind of putting at the back of my head too. It's been a learning curve. I'm grateful to the people that have given me help and advice and supported me. I have been surprised by that too. Most people have been pretty nice. So sometimes it's like your family right here and friends that are at least they don't know. So just I'm grateful for all the support I've gotten and for you guys for taking time to interview me. So
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on today. And thank you again for, taking time out of your morning to talk to us. And I look forward to reading your next book.
all right. Thank you very much, both of you. I appreciate it. So have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you.